Okay, let's go down to the last one and then we'll come back up to that middle one because that one's probably the most difficult. Okay, again, we can see we have the equation of a circle. We know the equation of a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. H comma k represents your shift, or it represents the center of your circle. Well, in this case, the center of the circle is 0, 0. So I can substitute in 0 here and here. We get x squared plus y squared, and we can see our radius is equal to 9, which would be 81. So in polar form, that's what we should get for the equation of the circle. Let me go to Desmos and just show you that real quick. So let me type in x squared, oops, let's try again, okay. X squared plus y squared is equal to 81. Okay, and we can see that we have that radius of 9 as well. Okay, now what we want to do is take this and we want to write it in polar form. So again, you'd have some basic substitutions up at the top of your paper. Notice at the top you've got x squared plus y squared equals r squared. So that means we can take this, we can substitute r squared in there. We get r squared is equal to 81. When you take the square root, you get r is 9 or negative 9. And again, if we wanted to confirm that, we can go type r equals 9 or negative 9 on our calculator. Or on Desmos, I'll go ahead and type that in. R is equal to 9 or negative 9. Let's go ahead and hit graph. Now, I know it looks more elliptical, but when you look at it, it does have a radius of 9 because it's 9 units left and right, 9 units up and down. Okay, now let's go to the last one. And as I said, we're only going to focus on 2 polar graphs in here. That's equations of lines and equations of circles. There are many more in the next section, but that's one section we are going to skip. Let's go to the next one. So we've got the center of our circle is 3, 2. And our radius would be radical 13. Let's go get an approximation for that. It's about 3.6. So again, that means I'd go roughly up 3.6, left and right, up and down, and again, let's go sketch out our circle. We left this one for last because to get it to polar form is going to be more difficult. First thing I left was you want to multiply out and substitute. So I want to take x minus 3 squared. I think we can do that in our head. We would get x squared minus 6x plus 9. I'm going to take y minus 2. I'm going to square that. That would be y squared minus 4y plus 4 is equal to 13. Now remember, I don't want x's and y's, I want r's or I want thetas. Well, first of all, notice you have x squared plus y squared, and we know that's equal to r squared. So those two give me r squared. We know in place of the x, we can substitute r cosine theta. In place of the y, we can substitute r sine of theta. And if you notice, 9 and 14 is 13, which cancels out with the 13 on the other side. Finally, let's go ahead and factor out an r. So we've got r minus 6 cosine theta minus 4 sine theta is equal to 0. And again, hopefully, when we go and graph it, we're going to get that equation of the circle, or the graph of the circle. I'm going to pause it and go ahead and type that in. So if we choose to type this on our calculator, notice our calculator says r equals. So if you take a look from here, we would have r equals 0. I would have all of this equals 0, which means r is equal to 6 cosine of theta plus 4 sine of theta. If you think about r equals 0, that just means I have that produces that single point here. It's this piece here that produces that circle. So let's go ahead and take a look. I have them both typed in. Again, I'm going to hit zoom 6. And again, it looks more oval, but if you take a look, roughly the center of the circle looks like it's here, which is what we got. It was 3, 2. And if I go left, right, or up or down, approximately the radius should be 3.6. Okay, so let me just reiterate. We're only going to focus on the circles and the equations of the lines, and that is it. Okay, the Math Excel will be open. It is not due until Monday at midnight. That way, if you do have questions, you can get on the Zooms on Monday. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me an email.